Good afternoon, everybody. I know some of you have been watching General Hospital there. My name is Chris Lawrence. We're here in the WFAA newsroom. I'm breaking in to just tell you that there has been some sort of incident at Wilmer-Hutchins High School. That's a high school in southern Dallas County, right near where I-20 and I-45 meet, and there is a heavy police presence. You can see there, Chopper 8 has a overhead visual, an aerial view of what's happening there now, and you can see that line of police cars outside the school. Again, the field seems to be clear at this point. We don't know at this point what sort of precipitated this amount of police presence, but I think you could sort of see on the field that at least some of the students and teachers are being evacuated on the school, making their way outside.
Hey, Chris, I actually am not there, but I have been talking to sources with Dallas Fire Rescue in the last 15 minutes, and they're telling me that this is a full active shooter call. That means they're calling multiple apparatuses there, about probably 25, from ambulances to engines, anything of that sort. This is a full-on active shooter call that's heading to Wilmer-Hutchins. According to my fire sources, there were multiple shots heard inside the building. Obviously, all this information is still very fluid. Some hearing 3 to 6 shots were heard, being told that there is a student that was shot in the leg who is apparently in stable condition. Unsure if there are any more people who were shot at this time.
Jobin Puneker is now there live at Wilmer-Hutchins High School. Jobin, can you bring us up to speed on what you're seeing and hearing right now?
Yeah, Chris, we just rolled up on scene here. It is gridlock in and around the school. We're on the north end of this campus. There's a parking lot. You can hear more law enforcement as they're coming down the road. You can actually see a long line, and I'm sure you have a better vantage point. You have a better vantage point from the chopper, just how many law enforcement vehicles we have here. I think we're counting closer to 40 to 50 to 60. We've seen DART police here. We see Dallas County sheriffs. We see Dallas police as well. They obviously, it's on lockdown right now. You have a whole bunch of parents that are sort of waiting around to see what's happening. They're communicating with their children, making sure that they are okay. There were a few children that were already on the outskirts of the campus, and they have been reunited with their family members. I've got Adante here. Adante, you're step in here for a minute here, and Adante is a senior here at Wilmer-Hutchins. We talked with your mom. Your mom's okay with us talking with you. First of all, where were you when this was all happening?
I was in the foyer with my principal, Miss Gilliard, and Miss Foster, along with my band director, Mr. Woodhouse, and 2 of my band members.
Okay. And did you hear something? Did you hear a commotion?
We were standing there talking, and we heard a few gunshots, and we were still standing there confused, and then we heard more, saw a few students running, heard a few screams, and we had to go and take cover back in the band room.
Could you tell where those gunshots were coming from?
I would say on the main street or the cafeteria, somewhere in that area.
Okay, and you're in the foyer, and where is that in relation to the campus?
Like right when you walk into the campus through the main doors, it's an open area.
If you can, sort of set the scene for us. What did it look like in the, inside the campus building? What were the students doing? I'm assuming there's a lot of commotion, a lot of chaos.
Yeah, it happened around lunchtime, so we're just in a foyer, a few students in there just talking, and all of a sudden it got quiet and you just hearing gunshots.
Yeah, again, I'm so sorry that you're having to deal with this. I know this is not easy, and this is now 2 years in a row that you have to deal with this. Were you here on that day when we had another shooting that was a targeted shooting? One student shot another student in the leg. Were you there for that?
Yes, I was here. I was also in the band room with my band directors.
What's going through your mind as you're now seeing 2 events in a row where we have major events, where we have a shooter on campus?
It's kind of scary thinking that it would have been better from last year's shooting, but things happen, and just really scared.
Yeah.
And Chris, one of the most horrifying things about this for families who are here right now is this has happened before. A year ago, almost to the day, they came here because their loved ones had a similar call home saying that there had been a shooting at the high school. And I want to introduce you to someone who was here when that happened last year. Hailee, your sister is now inside here. How is she doing? What has she told you?
She told me she was one of the last people to get out. There was a lot of screaming. She heard 3 bullets come from the cafeteria. As soon as they got out, they were yelling at them to keep their hands up. You know, this year it got way more strict than last year. Last year we had to wait a few hours to be able to get out. This time it was less than an hour. It got really scary for her because we thought it was just a drill. And it's really scary because this isn't the first time it happened. We've also had threats before. This is the second time there's actually been a shooting, and I feel like it's going to happen again because security just doesn't work here.
How did you hear about it? Was it a text message? I mean, you've heard that was on lock.
My son called me. He was outside running, and he said that gunshots was over his head or something he was saying, and then he was just getting from a career institute.
Okay.
And then he went in the cafeteria. He saw 2 of his friends get shot.
You're saying your son's 2 friends were shot in the cafeteria?
Yes, that's what he said.
And have you had a chance to talk with him?
My son?
Yeah.
Yeah, my son is over there.
And how is? I'm assuming he's shot.
They shocked. They shooken up. They were. My oldest one was crying, and then my other one, he called me, and I work at the school, and I had to come race over here and see what's going on because he scared me. I was so scared. Yeah, I was.
Yeah, Jason, it's been a little heated out here off and on because it feels like deja vu, as a lot of my fellow colleagues have mentioned already. There are dozens of parents out here. I'm going to have Josh, my photographer that's working with me today, turn around and show you just the line of people who are all behind here. You have all kinds of folks who are walking a half a mile or more just to get to the police barricade in order to get some sort of information about where to get their kids. We're, again, about a half a mile away from Eagles Stadium at Wilmer-Hutchins. And so, again, you can hear tensions are flaring with these parents trying to talk to law enforcement behind them. And you can understand that they're trying to protect the scene. They're trying to protect the investigation and make sure everyone's safe. One of those parents who's here is Janet Garcia. We had a chance to connect. Her daughter, Aaliyah, is a student at Wilmer-Hutchins. And kind of take me back to that moment when you got the call.
I was at the grocery store, just, getting my groceries, getting stuff done so I could come home and make dinner. And she calls me. She's in and out because, the school. And she's like, Mom, there's a shooting. And I'm like, what's going on? It hung up. I haven't been able to reach her since then. But she sounded okay. She said she was safe. She said that they moved them to the stadium, I'm assuming, and she's safe. But, oh, my goodness, just my heart drops because we hear about this all the time. And I'm just like, oh, not my baby. Because that leaves a mark in our kids' heads. Like, it's a mental thing as much as it is for them to come to school tomorrow. Like, how are they going to face this? How are they going to, see their I just hope the school has a good counseling program or something because these kids are going to definitely need it after this.
Now, Janet, when we first kind of started talking, your hands right now are still shaking.
Oh, yes, because I just still don't know if she's okay. Until I see my baby, like flesh, blood, like her body, I'm going to be like this. I want to make sure she's okay. She's my baby. She's, she's my oldest. She's a very smart kid, very responsible kid. So it just hurts me.
How long have you?
Tensions are flaring from parents, as Dia just mentioned there a moment ago. Let me, we've been on the air for a little bit more than an hour here, and just to reset, if people are just now coming across this, there has been a shooting at Wilmer-Hutchins High School in the southeast corner of the city of Dallas. Interstate 20, Interstate 45 is kind of the location of the school there. It was around the lunch hour when this happened. There were apparently 3 to 6 gunshots, we understand. Students were running. Some took cover in a band room, as Job and Paniker interviewed some witnesses a moment ago. The shooting actually occurred in the hallways, according to sources telling Morgan Young this, one of our investigative reporters. One person was shot in the calf, in the leg area, and is on the way to the hospital at this hour. And it's an initial belief right now, Morgan is telling us, that this might be some type of gang-related incident.
And I do understand. Cole Sullivan, we have Cole right now. Cole, you have someone with you.
It looked like they're not in critical condition. You know, there was a outside student who probably opened the door to let someone in. First thing, the school is safe now. Everything is secure. Hopefully that the person who is the suspect probably be in custody. I can say that it is a sad day for DISD, and I'm thankful for all the fire department, the police department, the state troopers, the DART, and DISD came to the rescue on a fast pace and secured the school. I think secures the school is secure. Thank you for getting that the school is safe now.
So, what do you know about injuries to students, potentially, or staff?
I think the injury, to my knowledge right now, there is not a life-threatening injury to any of the students, which is a blessing right now. I'm glad that of. Now it's just trying to get the student mind together, you know, try to help them, you know. So I think that we need to pray for the parents and also pray for the student of Wilmer-Hutchins. That is an incident that happened, but we always got to pray and bring the family together and bring the community together.
And you mentioned 3 people, 3 students were injured?
Yes, 3.
Do you know if all 3 were shot?
I can't say that all 3 of them were shot or injured, but I know there were 3 there, and I have not talked to any of the officer. DISD is in control. It's not Dallas Police Department. They're securing, so I got to get clearance from DISD. I did speak to the superintendent. She here, and she is on board, and whatever we need, we at Dallas Police Department, DPD, we're here as a supporting group. Just like the Sheriff Department, just like the Constable Department, we are a supporting group.
Sir, your understanding that the suspect is in custody?
My thing that they are aware of who the suspect is, and I cannot say they're in custody or not.
Okay, 3 people, 3 students injured? Any adults?
No, to my knowledge, there was 3 students injured.
Do you have a sense of where in the school this may have occurred? Or?
No, I do not know.
Sir, can you talk about, this is the second time, almost a year ago to this week, we were out here for another shooting at this school. What has gone wrong here that this has happened twice?
Well, I think that you cannot over-police anything. You cannot over-police a student. When you enter the building, you have some weak spot in any kind of secure building, you know, that someone can let someone in the building, or, you know, someone you think you might know, someone you think you don't know. So I cannot speak on it with the technology. So I think with all the technology we got, did we learn from the incident happened before? So do you compare that? So I leave that to the expert to tell us how we can do that.
Just so we're clear on.
That's right. Well, we're actually on the back end of the school. We're right between the Wilmer-Hutchins High School and the elementary school. And here we have some students that are actually waiting outside, and parents waiting outside to reunite with students. We just talked with the student a little while ago. She was a bit shaken up, so she didn't want to go on camera. But if we can pan over to the high school there, she told us that she was in her English class, which is on the far end of the high school, when she heard about 5 gunshots go off. That's when a group of the high school students ran out of the school and ran over to the elementary school where we are right now, and that's why we have some high school students who are here. Again, there's parents that are waiting right outside the door here of the elementary school, here to pick up their children. So tell me what happened. Your friend was actually one of those, one of the students that were shot. Yeah, he was one of the students that were shot. I don't want to say his name or anything, but he was running behind me in the cafeteria. He got out after me and my girl got out, and he was basically asking for help. He was like, hey, something hit me or something, and he said, take off my boot so I can see it. And I'm like, thinking he's joking, but then I'm like, okay, let me take off his boot. And I take off his boot, and
there's a big gash or wound on his leg, and he's saying it's hard to move and that eventually it ended up he couldn't feel his leg no more. And yeah, I mean, the whole situation was really just like a lot of adrenaline, and there was like you just had to act fast.
Yeah. I want to know, how are you feeling right now?
Now I'm a little bit more calm now that I'm away from everything, and that I know everybody that I'm close to is safe, and that the people that I love know that I'm safe.
This time last year, there was a student who got a gun on campus, shot a fellow student in the leg, ran out of the school. The police apprehended him about near the stadium in that area there. But at the time, the chief of police for Dallas ISD Police, Albert Martinez, he was only a couple months into the job at that point, and he said, look, this was a failure. We need to beef up our training. We need to beef up our protocols. We need this to be at a level commensurate with what TSA does. So obviously, in light of that, in light of the community forums that were convened in which parents got to air their concerns, there's going to be a lot more talk this time how this could happen 1 year later.
Yeah, a lot more questions too for those officials. We have a number of reporters who are out there on the scene. We heard from Brittany Moncrief. Kevin Reese is at Baylor Scott and White Hospital. Cole Sullivan's on the scene there at Wilmer-Hutchins, and so is Jobin Paniker, our first reporter to arrive on scene. Jobin, what can you tell us right now here in the 3 o'clock hour?
Yeah, that reunification process is still happening. It's been slow. We're seeing a lot fewer parents as they're walking through. You know, when you're reporting on one of these scenes, it's you walk a really fine line between, you know, reporting on the event and then being a distraction of the event and also being a part of the event. So we're trying to give people some space. We know as parents walk through with their children, they keep their head down. That is your sign that they do not want to talk. One person, one mom yelled out to me, and listen, we have to be understanding of the emotions that are happening in these moments. She yelled out to me, "I'm tired of talking. We need more doing." And that's really telling. She said, "I'm tired of talking. We need more doing." Speaking to the frustration that a lot of parents are having. Keep in mind, after last year's incident, there was a parent community meeting where the district felt and made a pledge that we were going to be better. Last year when we were at this event, we were at this very same spot hearing from parents who were frustrated about metal detectors, clear bag policies, how they didn't work. That reunification process last year was a mess. It took 2 to 3 hours to get that all buttoned up. We remember parents waiting outside the parking lots, having to sign the cards with their name, their students' names, their children's names, and one by one go into the main office and pick up their children. Again, that took 2 to 3 hours. It's going to be really telling if they listen to these parents in that community meeting last year to see how fluid this reunification process will be. Again, we're here on the north end where things have somewhat settled. There are a lot fewer parents coming through. We're hoping that reunification does happen, but still, we're understanding this is still a fluid scene.
Live from Dallas-Fort Worth, this is WFAA News.
And we begin with the breaking news, the shooting at Wilmer-Hutchins High School in Dallas. Let's go right to the press conference taking place now.
Thank you, Chief. Today, as we all know, the unthinkable has happened, and quite frankly, this is just becoming way too familiar, and it should not be familiar. I do want everyone to know that I just got off the phone with Governor Abbott, who just called to get an update, status report, and to offer any resources that we need to assist us. So I know that there are many questions, and we're not going to have all the answers right now because some of the information will be inaccurate. So we will do our very best because we know it is important to be always transparent. I do need to take a moment to ensure that first and foremost we know that we have been able to reunify all of our high school students with their parents and guardians. The team of Dallas ISD Police Department and our Office of Emergency Management along with all of the agencies that assisted us in ensuring that we ensured everyone was safe. And it is important to note that within 2 minutes, of course, we already had an officer here at the high school that was able to respond immediately to the incident, followed by Wilmer police, who were next on the scene. But I'm sure that you can tell that there were multiple agencies, from the sheriff's department, the city police, whether it was city police from Dallas, city police from Wilmer, city police from Hutchins. Of course, DPS troopers have been here. We have the fire and rescue, FBI, ATF. There were a number of federal agents that were also here to provide that level of support. What I can tell you is our team worked very deliberately to ensure, first and foremost, that everyone was safe on campus as soon as the incident was reported, and provided, of course, treatment to each of the individuals. We will have difficulty giving you any specifics, of course, because as you all know, there are laws that keep us from being able to disclose information for minors. I also want to reiterate that we will not be having school at Wilmer-Hutchins High School for the rest of the week. We will have mental health clinicians and others available to assist anyone who would like to meet with counselors to discuss the incident. You don't ever just get used to this, and I am very aware of that.
You got an active shooter. Wilmer-Hutchins High School, we do have reports of one student being shot.
There was a lot of screaming. She heard 3 bullets come from the cafeteria.
Shock.
It's really scary because this isn't the first time it happened.
I had to drive here safely because I was about to pass out.
And frustration.
My instant reaction is to get to my son, because I just think about what if he was one of the ones shot.
We've seen what damage it does to a community.
A second shooting at Wilmer-Hutchins High School. And tonight, the questions are growing about how this could happen again.
I don't see how a kid could get a gun in the school.
The events that unfolded inside the building and what we're learning about the suspect now. WFAA News at 6 starts now.
And we begin with an update on that breaking news. Wilmer-Hutchins High School is closed the rest of this week after that terrifying school shooting today. Yeah, we've learned the suspect is still on the run right now after injuring 4 people. But officials now say the student's wounds range from serious to non-life-threatening. It is the second time in a year this has happened at the school near I-20 and 45. In the last hour, we heard from authorities and DISD superintendent who said this is becoming way too familiar. The active shooter call went out just after 1 p.m. and we've had a team of reporters on scene working to get you answers. Let's start with Cole Sullivan, who just got an update on the investigation. Cole?
Izzy, the DISD superintendent says the unthinkable has happened again here at Wilmer-Hutchins. Today it began just after 1 o'clock. 4 students hurt, 3 shot, 1 grazed, we're told, all expected to live. The suspect identified by authorities, but not in custody at this point in time. Students we talked to say this all unfolded near the cafeteria. That's what they've heard, and it was terrifying for the students and for their families. Here's how one student described what happened after she heard the shots.
And my teacher, he closed the door really fast, and he told us all to get in the corner and to start calling our parents to tell them what was going on. And then he just told us to be quiet and that if anything were to happen, he would help protect us because we're his first priorities.
It certainly weighs very heavy on my heart, but I can't begin to imagine. As a parent myself, I'm trying to put myself in those shoes.
That was the DISD superintendent. The parents she's hearing from and the parents we're hearing from are frustrated because the video you're looking at now is not from today, it's from nearly a year ago today, another shooting at this same high school. Then the district said it was a security failure. A gun got through because a metal detector was broken. Today, they say it was not that. The gun did not come through a normal process, but they wouldn't say exactly what it was. The deputy mayor tells me that a student or someone opened a side door for the suspect to come in. That suspect has not yet been identified, and right now the investigation continues at this school behind me, trying to figure out answers about what happened. These are answers that the community wants, that the school wants, that investigators want, and also that parents want. After this has happened yet again, my colleague Dia Wall has been talking to some of those parents and those families. Dia, frustrated is an understatement.
Oh, absolutely, Cole. As you can imagine, this happened in the middle of the day. The call goes out that there has been a shooting once again, as you mentioned, a year later at Wilmer-Hutchins High School. On the way here, we were stopped about a half a mile outside the school complex, along with dozens of parents, cars parked on the street. I mean, it was the height of their fear and their frustration and anxiety and worry about what took place inside. I met a mother there who described the call she got from her son, a frantic call, and then what happened when she met us there on her way to try to pick him up.
He's like, Mom, I'm in a closet in a locked room. He said, Mom, he said, y'all, just can you come get to us? I said, y'all, stay safe and I'm coming. I'm here. They won't let us go to get them. So somebody's not communicating, and it's sad. It's sad that all these parents are out here and nobody can get to their kids.
Talk about a tense and emotional situation with parents and police exchanging words, waiting for clear direction on when and how they would be able to pick up their children. I met another mom whose oldest daughter also goes to Wilmer-Hutchins High School, and that mom was so scared, man. She was shaking at the time. Well, after she picked Aaliyah up this afternoon, I got to ask her what that first embrace was like.
Oh my goodness. She was his mom. I'm like, I know, but to me, you don't understand the relief to just be able to hug you. And there's another kid in there that their mom and dad are not going to be able to hug them, you know? But it was such a relief, such a relief.
Always a relief, Chris, when you get to see a parent at the height of their fear and their worry, and they had a happy ending today because they got to go home together. And that mom is calling on other parents here at Wilmer-Hutchins to get together, maybe get involved, talk to the school board about ways that even parents can get involved to make sure that this doesn't happen again here at this high school.
All right, thank you, Dia. Yeah, we've been watching them all afternoon, following their path and that anxiety they felt early on until that moment when they were finally able to hug their child. Governor Abbott is in contact with local officials right now and just released a statement on the shooting. He says, our hearts go out to the victims of this senseless act of violence at Wilmer-Hutchins High School. I spoke with Dallas ISD Superintendent Stephanie Elizalde and Dallas ISD Chief Albert Martinez. I offered to support the school district families, students, and staff, and to provide law enforcement with the tools they need to arrest the criminals involved and bring them to justice.
Well, this investigation is far from over. We have everything you need to know, including the full press conference from Dallas ISD right now on WFAA Plus. You can download the streaming app to your television and watch for free.